you see that, everyone?
There's so much to explore in Strange World, from the environments to the creatures, to the relationships both old and new.
Awesome!
But when you take a deeper dive below the surface and look closer at what the talented filmmakers and artists created, you may discover something you didn't see the first time around. So, hop on your nearest Transportosaurus and join us as we uncover the hidden secrets of Strange World.
Well, let's get moving!
This is gonna be awesome!
Let's begin with the power of Pando.
What are you?
When you saw what this stuff could do, didn't you just want to box it up and use it for real?
Yeah.
Someone at Disney Animation Studios certainly did. Maybe it was even Mickey himself. How's that for a hidden Mickey?
So clever.
Speaking of Pando, meet Petey Pando, the mascot created to help promote the benefits of Pando.
What?
Wait,
You haven't heard of him? That's because he was cut from the film.
I'm sorry, what?
But if you take a close look throughout Avalonia, you can still find him here and here.
All right, next stop.
Here's one for all you biology nerds out there.
Okay.
We all know that the family of the film's last name is Clade, right?
The one and only.
Biologically speaking, the word clade means a group of organisms believed to have evolved from a common ancestor.
Ah, you're a clade!
What a perfect name for the 3 generations of heroes we meet in Strange World.
huh, look at that.
Don't worry, Legend, we won't leave you out.
Hey, boy.
That's right, his name has an origin story too. When Bertie Mattinson was inducted as a Disney legend in 2008, director Don Hall gave him the nickname Legend. During early development, Bernie would tell Don that they needed a dog character to help root the story.
Right.
At the time, Don didn't think it was needed because they had Splat. But eventually, Bernie's advice was taken and a dog character was born and lovingly given the name Legend.
Legend!
After the Disney legend who inspired him. Some of everyone's favorite Easter eggs are finding hidden characters and references from other Disney films.
That's right, bub.
Being that Strange World has an anatomy/biology motif, and Big Hero 6 had the same director, it seems only fitting that a personal healthcare companion would make it into the film.
What is that?
Baymax from Big Hero 6? Right here.
Awesome.
Have you seen Bolt around?
No! Me neither.
Neither has anyone else in Avalonia. According to this poster, he's lost.
What?
Does this river look familiar?
I've never seen anything like this.
Maybe like the dragon-shaped river from Raya and the Last Dragon?
Wait, what?
If you need a geographical visual for that, part of Kumandra can be seen here. And those aren't the only references to Raya and the Last Dragon. Look, it's Tuk Tuk in the background of this scene.
Impossible.
What do Strange World and Aladdin have in common? Would you believe it was Splat and the magic carpet? As Splat's design evolved, the characters' team discovered that Splat expressed its emotions very much like Aladdin's carpet.
I think that's pretty obvious.
That's what I call a whole new Strange World. It's time to talk statistics.
Are you ready?
Strange World was a big animated movie with 1,542 shots.
Whoa!
Out of those shots, 954 of them were effects shots. That's over 60% of the whole film.
This doesn't make any sense.
The crowds department is the team that populates an animated movie with, you guessed it, crowds. In most films, the crowds are made up of human characters. But in Strange World, they are made up of blood cells, killer T cells, macrophages, stem cells, flying cars, poot pickles, and more.
We are clearly in uncharted territory.
Can you find all 12,387 barnacle flowers in this scene?
Right there.
Or how about the 8,379 reapers crawling along the Pando route in this shot?
What's happening here?
If you think that's a lot, in this shot, 2,534,453 blood cells were used to resurrect the heart.
What?
Only topped by this shot that had 3,421,000 blood cells.
Whoa.
All in all, there are over 50 billion individual crowd elements in the entire film.
It's kind of amazing.
Right?
Not only keeping the crowd department super busy, but making this the most complex, largest scale, and most diverse project Disney animation has ever taken on.
It's incredible.
On that note, I'm sure you now understand why there is so much to see in Strange World,
That's what I'm talking about.
and how every time you view it again and again, you may find even more hidden secrets. Right, Splat?
Are we rolling? Are we rolling? Are we rolling?
All right. Okay.
All right, here we go. Okay.
Watch this.
Come on. Come on.
Guess what, Dad? I don't need your appreciation. I just need you to. Guess what, Dad? I don't need you to.
Bop, 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 bop. Thank you. How many times have I told you? Rule number 33, don't feel the wild.
Come on. Come on.
Do you need to potty? You need to party. You need to potty? You want to potty?
You want my dad for an expedition? Expedition.
What, am I funny to you? Oh, you think we're funny. We're funny guys, right? Come on.
That's what I'm talking about. It's classic Jaeger Clade.
Meridian! Meridian!
Sorry, can't hear ya. Too busy being awesome in here.
What are you doing? Crop dusting.
Okay.
No, 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 wait, no, no, never, no.
Yeehaw! Yeah, that'll do. You see what I'm working with?
How far down does it go? Because that looks like it goes down really far.
And a giant eyeball. Ah. We practiced this. I swear we practiced this.
That's my baby. That's my baby.
Stand back, Dad. I'm about to light these reapers up. Serve it up. Serve it up. Come on, Papa. Serve it up. What the? I don't know that came out of me, Dad. You can just throw it.
We made it. Nailed it.
And that's how you do it.
All right then, good night everybody and thank you.
Woo.
Just gonna take a. I was just Thank you. Very. Goodbye.
You're about to see the sequence named Funerals and Promises. This sequence really was a beautiful sequence, a powerful one that showed the loss in Searcher's life, losing his father, but then the turn in the scene was that he found Pando, right? He found this new power source. That same story point actually totally plays out in the movie. We just combine them with the previous scene. And so you find with a lot of these sequences, they don't need their own sequence. And this was an example of a story trying many different versions. And ultimately, we decided it would be better if Searcher actually feels this loss personally, seeing his dad leave and choosing to go the other way. This sequence was storyboarded by Jeff Snow and Chris Yore. Enjoy their fabulous work.
Jaeger Clade was the best of us. And though he never returned, we now have an answer to our greatest question. If he couldn't pull it off, it's clear now that it can't be done. There is no path to the other side of the mountains. The cost in hunting for it has taken too much from us already. It is time to finally say goodnight to the age of exploration. Instead of looking outward for Avalonia's future, we will now look inward. For it will be our minds, not our muscles, that will craft our future. No longer will we seek to conquer more land, but instead we'll find better ways to control and utilize what we already have. This is how we will make the world a better place. This is our new beginning. Our destiny is not beyond the mountains. It's already here, in our hands.
Hello, my name is Lissa Tryman. I was one of 2 heads of story on this film. The scene we're about to see is called Searcher and Ethan. It would have taken place at the end of the first act. It's after Callisto has come in and told Searcher, Pando is in trouble, it's dying, we need you to come on this expedition to save it. Ethan wants to come with Searcher. Searcher says no way. Ethan gets upset and storms up to his room. We have always had some version of this scene in the film. You'll see it in the final version, a scene where Searcher and Ethan have this real heart-to-heart where Searcher talks about his childhood and how difficult it was to be the son of the great, the one, the only Jaeger Clade. Tenny Isakanian boarded this scene for us. It was really heartbreaking to have to cut it and move it because she brought such great character and emotion to this version of the scene, but where it was for pacing, we really just wanted Searcher to get on that ship and go off on this adventure, and so we had to move it earlier, but it's a really beautiful scene, and I hope you enjoy it.
Hey, bud.
Dad, come on. I can take care of myself.
Ethan.
You're the one who's always talking about father-son moments. This would be an epic father-son moment.
Ethan.
Besides, going on an expedition sounds cool.
Ethan, being an explorer isn't what you think it is.
And how am I supposed to know that, Dad? You never talk about Grandpa.
I never talk about him because we didn't have a great relationship. Everyone thinks of Jaeger Clade as this amazing hero, but that's only because they didn't have him as a father. To me, he was just a really bad dad. He only cared about conquering those mountains. I only care about you and our family, our future. This place is meant to be yours, Ethan. And I am going to do whatever I can to make sure you get it.
Deep below the surface of Avalonia live creatures some would describe as terrifying, creepy crawly, gassy, cute and squishy.
Oh, what is that? It's so cute. I want to merchandise it. Ow!
Fearless explorers have returned from their journey to the depths below the Western Mountains, bringing back detailed notes and observations about these creatures from this strange world. Yeah! Like this one. With a total of 22 ventral limbs, the purple, blue, or pink-bodied G. globulus, more commonly known as the slug bus, are some of the larger invertebrates in subterranean Avalonia. These sweet, agreeable, and unconfrontational masters of mucus spend their time traveling around the environment detecting areas of low humidity. Once an area is discovered, they stop to create pools of steamy mucus while also adding their slime to surfaces like cliffside walls, the ground, and rocks.
Is this thing dangerous?
Maybe. Explorers have noted they show remarkable obedience to human command and interaction. However, conservation efforts should be made to limit human interaction, as they are easily distracted and controlled by our behaviors. Moving to the burning sea, we can observe this inflatable creature. Sea pepsis, aka poot pickle, has stretchy, elastic flesh that expands and contracts, giving it balloon-like properties. While heated air helps them with their buoyancy, a sudden release allows them to shoot through the air with great speed. This high-speed technique is often used to dodge dangerous acid bursts. While they are quite skittish around anything that walks on the surface, they are much friendlier with flying creatures. While some creatures in subterranean Avalonia can make your skin crawl, literally, others grace the environment with their elegance and beauty. Meet F. antaeanus, more commonly called filterlope. The six-legged deer-like creatures travel around the region using their antennae to filter and clean other creatures and the air, capturing dirt, grime, and other bad particles. Other creatures are often observed passing through them on their own will to essentially bathe themselves. These housekeepers of habitat are also often seen cleaning surfaces. Since the discovery of the filterlope, many fashion trends in Avalonia, old and new, have found their inspiration and continued popularity from the stylish creature. Moving on from the graceful to the grotesque. From its extending mouth tentacles to the trophies of foreign particles protruding from its body, the S. macrophus, quite fittingly known as the Reaper, omits its gargled roar
We should go.
as it walks across every inch of sub-Avalonia, looking for sick creatures and foreign objects to swallow and digest. The typical Reaper can stand 10 to 15 feet in height and up to 30 to 40 feet in length when their tentacles are at full extension.
Hi.
These coroners of the coronaries are highly aggressive, suspicious, relentless, and unyielding.
Get on!
Consider them to be a danger to any foreign visitor not native to this environment.
Whew, so glad we're not dead.
However, even a scary creature can have friends. Meet the Scouts. The elastic 12 limbs of the Scout can stretch and extend 15 times longer than its original length, and in some cases more. These sneaky scampers will lure foreign invaders to the Reapers to be killed and destroyed. Don't let their moist and squishy appearance fool you. While they can't kill you themselves, if you don't belong here, they have the creature connections to destroy you.
Ugh. Hey, stop pushing buttons. Bad splat.
The S. nubnubis, locally referred to as nub McNubbins. Nub McNubbins walk around on their little nubbed legs, toppling over and bumping into things like dead or injured creatures and structures. Instead of reporting them to the defense creatures like our friends the Scouts, these nubs have the unique ability to combine themselves with the destroyed creature or structure and turn into it, taking on the same tissue and genetic composition, ultimately saving them from the eventual consumption of a Reaper or pterodactyl.
Oh, here you go, little guy.
These impossibly cute creatures are a favorite of Avalonians and like to stroke people's faces in a slow and creepy fashion.
Funny little goobers, aren't they?
The transportation of Nub McNubbins on S. transportus is another example of creature helping creature deep down here in sub-Avalonia. These McNubbin monorails, measuring at 2 stories in length and 4 stories wide, using their 6 thin legs, Transportosaurus traverse the landscape very slowly, carrying Nub McNubbins looking for damaged and destroyed creatures for them to repair. Due to their massive size, most predators are hesitant to approach these walking locomotives, and in turn, the Transportosaurus doesn't give a bile about anyone else. Except maybe the cute and squishy Nub McNubbins, of course. Now, moving back to the mucus, we find I. globulinus, not only the perfect name for something that lives in snot, but also for a rock turtle. These blue shell-wearing creatures have 9 tentacles of various lengths. The sharp spikes on the back of its shell help prevent it from being stepped on by the likes of a Transportosaurus. They live on a diet of foreign invaders like bugs and so forth, keeping the mucus pools clean and protected. Warning: while these creatures look harmless and move slowly, do not place your hands or feet in the mucus where they reside. Doing so may result in them grabbing your foot and trying to slowly eat you.
What? Oof, I don't know what you just said, but I'm pretty sure it was inappropriate.
Thank you for joining us on this spine-tingling adventure into sub-Avalonia. We hope you don't encounter any of these creatures in your dreams this evening or at your local mucus pool. Except maybe the Nub McNubbins. Aren't they cute?
The scene you're about to see is called Lightning Links, and this one deals with Meridian's backstory. Meridian as a character was one that we did a lot of work trying to find the right balance on, trying to tell the story of who she is in relation to her family, but also try and convey a sense of who she is as an individual. And for a while, we had this backstory for her that was based on this amazing story pitch by Samantha Vilfort, who's one of our board artists who boarded the scene, where she was a stunt pilot who loved to fly, was really great at her job, and then one day her plane crashed and she barely walked away from it alive, and it left her so scared to fly that she hadn't gone up in the air since then. And the act of getting in that crop duster and going after her family and going on this adventure was actually helping her to confront a lot of past trauma and ultimately to overcome it. It was this really beautiful story, but it was one that we felt we didn't have the screen time to properly honor. So ultimately, this scene wound up getting cut. But I think it's a really great one. It shows Meridian and Callisto, who are two great characters, getting to interact with each other and kind of start to form a friendship of their own. So I hope you enjoy it.
Ethan! Ethan! Ethan!
What the? What?
Ah! Whoa! Whoa! Ah! Get off! Get off! Get off! Ugh.
Dorian Mall, what are you doing out here? Well, when the 2 civilians in your care suddenly go missing, it really shakes up your to-do list. Also, these gifts are kind of expensive.
Sorry.
Ah, the old Lightning Lynx logo. I'm a big Air Derby fan. You were one of the best.
Thanks.
I was there, you know, during your last stunt show. Oh, it's good to see you're doing well. It must have been hard getting back in the air.
Try terrifying.
But you did it. That's something.
Only because my family's in trouble. That stupid crash is gonna be my legacy.
Well, it's never too late to build a new one. Especially when you have a good reason for it.
I see why you're the doyen. You're pretty good at it.
Huh. That should be my next campaign slogan. Doyen Mall. Pretty good at it. Okay, let's go retrieve your family. Faster we find them, faster we get back to saving Pando.
Hi, I'm David Derrick, head of story on Strange World with Lissa Tryman. This scene was the first scene in the film, The Ballad of Jaeger Clade. This version was cut from the film, but there is a version that did make it. In a lot of our sequences, they'll start out with a germ of the idea, and as it evolves, that old sequence will be completely replaced. So you'll see in this sequence that Searcher never went on the expeditions with his father Jaeger, and he has to watch and wait for Jaeger to come home. And the animosity that he has with his father deals with that separation. Ultimately, we decided we wanted to have them together and to feel the separation very personal with one leaving the other. And so we drifted from that concept. But you can still see in the DNA of this scene what was ultimately in the final scene.
Come around, boys and girls. Let me tell you how Avalonia became Avalonia. How we grew from a tiny little village surrounded by the Great Mountain Wall into the incredible civilization we have today. We have one man to thank for that, a legendary explorer named Jaeger Clade. He expanded our world from nothing to something, his muscles so strong, his mind so cunning. He explored every corner, cut down that dark jungle. He made way for Avalonia. Well, it was barely a struggle. And then came a kid, a son named Searcher. Skinny little tyke, loved being held and nurtured. As soon as they met, Jaeger had no question. Searcher Clade was made to follow his father's legend. But Searcher had his own ideas of what he wanted to be. Instead of fighting and exploring, he loved planting crops and hugging trees. He tried to tell his dad, confess his truth, but Jaeger had other things on his mind. One last mission to do. For there was still a stone that was left unturned, the Great Mountain Wall that encircles our world. A mystery no other explorer could crack. Jaeger swore he'd get past it, but instead, he never came back.
I vow to never be like you.